Happy Tuesday, everyone. I hope your week is off to a great start. Except for the Warriors fans, being 2 games down um, in the round one series with the Kings. I mean, this is how I felt this morning. Like I was furious. I couldn't catch the game. But then I woke up this morning and I took a look at the score line. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised, although I hoped they would win the game. But I wasn't surprised, right? The Kings have been a very good team. I know a lot of people claim to say they are not a good team defensively, but then I think their offense covers for that, right? They finished the season, if I'm not mistaken, with the best offensive rating. So if they could score enough points, they don't have to be super bothered about how many points they concede, right? And it has helped them during the series. So I mean, they won this game by 8 points. The game won. They won by 3 points, and Fox has been playing very well. I know Sabonis didn't play well in game one, but he showed up for game two. Man, do I think the Warriors can win the series? I think they have a shot at it. But do I think the Kings can win the series? I think they have a better shot at it as well, because I mean, they just have to win 2 more games. If the Warriors get to win 2 more games, they are only tying the series. If the Kings get to win 2 more games, they basically swept the Warriors, right? So I do hope the Warriors win the series, and that will take a whole lot of adjustments. They need to really adjust. I'm not a coach. Steve Kerr is the coach, so they have to really adjust and make adjustments to be able to come out of the series, right? I mean, right now the series, if the Warriors should win, the series would have to go as far as 6 games, right? Or at least 6 games, right? So 6 to 7 games. For the Kings to win, we just need 2 more games, right? And it's just pure math. Or just off the top of my head, I think the last time anyone had a 2-0 lead in the playoffs and won and still lost would be when the Suns were 2-0 up against the Bucks in the 2021 final. So it's just pure math, right? You don't want to be trailing. Even in soccer or football, you don't want to be trailing. I personally am not a big fan of trailing. I would rather I'm leading and you're trying to catch up with me than be in the position of trailing, because I mean, statistics, I don't have the raw facts right now, but I do believe you would have more teams winning when they are 2-0 up than you'd have teams who win when they are 2-0 down. So it's just statistics. So the Kings are in a better position to take this series, right? And it's and not to take anything from them. I think they've played well, and they deserve what they have. I know people would like to say the Warriors have a bad road record, but if they're going to go by that narrative, then the Warriors will still lose, because the Kings have home court advantage. So if you're going to lose all 4 games in the Kings arena, then you will definitely lose the series. You're not even sure of winning all 3 games in Chase Center. So I'm not going to say the Warriors have no hope, but I'm definitely would say they have a slim chance of coming out of the series, right? They have a slim chance of coming out of the series. I do believe if they are able to make adjustments, they will be able to take the series, right? They were two games down even during the finals. Not 2 games down, 2-1. You're right. So they were 1 game down even during the finals. They were 3-1 down against the Thunder against OKC in what year was that? 2016, I think. Western Conference Finals. They were 3-1 down and they came back to win the series 4-3. But then I saw a stat this morning saying the Kings are the first team to ever go 2-0 up against the Steph Curry-led Warriors, which is massive for them, I believe, right? That's like in 9 years, right? They're the first team to have the Warriors 2-0 down, and I do believe they have a shot at winning this series, and I think I have to come to peace with that, right? Again, I'm going to push for the Warriors to win, but it's just pure math, right? I know Skip Bayless and Nick Wright, they would have a field day, right, with this loss, because I don't know, for some reason they don't like the Warriors. I mean, last Yeah, the last finals, Skip Bayless had the Warriors winning the series against the Celtics. But if you watch the undisputed segments, you would almost think Shannon Sharp had the Warriors because he argued more for the Warriors than Skip. So it's like the same thing Skip is doing with the Lakers. It's like I support them to win. So if they lose, I can yeah talk bad, talk down on them. But if they win as well, you almost also want to talk down on them. So like the Warriors won, and they were saying the Celtics were young and started making a lot of excuses. I mean, they got to the finals, so like they must have been a good team to get to the finals. So I know they would have a field day, and that's fine because as much as I think the criticism is unfair, I mean in the last 10 years the Warriors have won 4 championships. What other team has won up to three or two even, right? In the last 10 years, from 2013 up until this moment. What other team has won up to 2 or 3 championships? No other team, right? Outside of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, and Iguodala, Andre Iguodala. I think only LeBron has 4 rings in the entire NBA, current active players. But then for some reason, um, yeah, those who hate the Warriors just seem to ignore such facts, right? And you'd rather root for the Clippers who have won nothing. They have not gotten to the finals yet, or the Suns who went to the finals and lost to the Bucks and last year had a meltdown against Lucas Mavericks. So it's like, yeah, I think it's quite unfair for a team that has won so much. I think it's quite unfair to not call them some slack, right? It's quite unfair to think they always have to prove something. No one else has to prove anything. The Warriors always have to prove something, right? I do believe it would be nice if they got a fifth ring. I watched an interview Steph Curry had with Malik Andrews from ESPN, and he said something. They won everything, right? So right now it's just to achieve more, right? It's just to achieve more. They have a legacy already. Not many players won 4 rings in their careers. Some of the best players never got past 2 or 3 rings. So to have won 4 rings, I think they've done their bit. It would be nice to see them get out of the first round, but if the Kings do eliminate them, I think that's good. The Kings have done well for themselves. Mike Brown has done very well. He probably would win Coach of the Year. I'm sure Chris Broussard picked him to win the Coach of the Year award with his own votes. But yeah, I think Mike Brown probably wins the Coach of the Year to take a team from the 12th seed to the 3rd seed in a year, right? Yeah, I do think he has done well. A lot of people are saying why the Warriors are losing, or a couple of people are saying why the Warriors are losing is because Mike Brown knows Steve Kerr very well, and I think it goes both ways. If you know Steve Kerr knows him, so they should be able to exploit each other's weaknesses with their coaching strategies. So yeah, looking forward to game 3. Losing is a part of the game. They have to just make adjustments. I think they have to make adjustments. The coaching staff has to make adjustments. Probably give JK, that's Jonathan Kuminga, more minutes. Just make a lot of adjustments. Probably like in the first game, the Warriors shot 53s, which I don't say it's unnecessary, but then, which is a mistake I've seen with the Warriors over the years. The trees are not falling. You probably need to just drive to the basket. Let's say, I think there was a game earlier this season which they lost. Then when they were losing games like back to back, like earlier in the season, and they needed it was a 4-point game, right? And they kept shooting threes. Anthony Lamb, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, and they bombed every one of them, right? And for me, I was like, just okay, fine. It's a 4. I know if you score 2-3 pointers, you're going to be leading the game by 2. But then just drive to the basket. If you see the threes are not falling, if you see that your hand is not hot, the threes are not falling, just go to the basket and get a layup or get fouled. I know they don't really get foul calls because Steph Curry is the best free throw shooter in NBA history but then he doesn't get so much calls as much as in game 1 Malik Monk had 14 free throws, right? But Steph Curry doesn't get so much foul calls as much as Joel Embiid or Giannis or Luka, any one of these guys, right? But then just drive to the basket. You have the handles, you have it all, and try to get a foul, try to make the basket instead of just bombing threes. You shot 53s and you shot below 40%, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. So like sometimes maybe the adjustment just has to come. And The Kings do not have very good rim protection as well. Sabonis is a good rebounder, but they don't have very good rim protection, right? So they shot very well. They shot. I've not looked at the stats really for the game three for this particular game, the game two, but in game one they shot very well when they drove to the basket than they did when they were shooting three. So I mean, it's just math, right? It's math. It's logistics, or it's logic, right? So you just try and go to the basket. I know it's not easy. You're in the game. You're the one doing all of this, but then yeah, they have to make the adjustments because whatever they're doing, it's not working. If it was working, there'll be two. They would have even the series, or at least be leading the series, but they are not. So um, again, I can't. I don't want to depend on the bad road record narrative because that means the Warriors will lose. It's as simple as that. The Kings have home court advantage. The Warriors would lose, right? So, you have to win a home game, a road game. You have to win one or two because you're not even sure of winning all three games at Chase Center. So, yeah, I do wish them well, and yeah, I think I'm enjoying the playoffs so far, except the Hawks game, which was almost a blowout in my opinion. I think every game has been good so far. The Suns Clippers series, I think it's going to go down to the very yeah, I do hope it's not a sweep, right? I think the next series may be a sweep if they don't make adjustments as well. But yeah, looking forward to the next games and yeah, looking forward to what comes of it. And yeah, until the next time, bye bye.